Dag, good day, and it's great to see you here, back on the channel, Northworthy, Sagas and Stories.
Yeah,
I'm your host, Bragi.
and I'm Egil Thorsen.
Hello, Egil.
Hello,
Nice to meet
Bragi.
you. Now, today we are going to be talking about the Sagas, and this video title will be a chat about the Viking Sagas with Bragi and Egil. So, where do you want to start on the Sagas then?
Well, I think we can break the sagas into two sections.
Yes.
We can look at them as rules for life, moralistic.
Yeah, your moral stories.
When you see the gods aren't perfect, so if the gods aren't perfect,
Neither are the people.
well done. And it also, there's a lesson in there to be learned.
Yeah, I can see that.
The second half is actually historic. Now, it's been said, oh well, it's history, but you know, well, the point is, if you're not a literate society, the best way to learn about this is to have a story.
Yeah.
You know, I first got interested in history because my granny used to talk about people she knew as a child who were obviously long dead, and I found it fascinating. But I listened, and this is the point: to attract people's attention. You don't have to be a child. It's just something that hooks you. You need a hook, and whether it's like the Laxdale saga,
Yes.
which is historic, or Egil's saga,
Yes, one of my favourites.
you know, and you can actually visit some of the sites. If you go to York Down the Shambles, you're actually walking on the site of the Palace of Oak Bloodhouse,
Yes.
where Egil was held prisoner and could pose the head poem. So, but it's done as a story so that you can attract it. I mean, can you imagine sitting and saying, well, in 973 this happened? No, they don't want to know. But if you say, well, I'm going far away upon, you know, on the sea, there was a man, a brave man. You think, oh, this is interesting, and that's what you do. And yes, we have to obviously. Some of the sagas have got, shall we say, phrases, actions that don't offend me, but could get us taken off air. So sometimes you have to modify it.
Yeah, you do have to be careful about some of the subject matter in the sagas, and naturally, you don't want to concentrate and work on a video and find yourself demonetized because of something you said from a saga. But sometimes we do have to change that, and we also have the same thing in folk tales, where sometimes the thing in folk tales are a little bit over the top, or scary. So we don't do that. That's interesting.
Yeah, and I think this is how stories and sagas get modified through the years. I know through bitter experience from going around schools, things that seem innocent to me can be highly offensive without being intending that, and that was because of a saga. So you have to be careful.
Yes.
Think it through, maybe field test it on somebody who's hypersensitive, and make your decision that way.
I mean, after all, we are a family-friendly channel, so we want the content to be available for adults as well as children.
We're not here to shock people, we're here to entertain and educate. And that's what the main thing of sagas is, to educate. And the things we do, the vlogs and everything else, it's to educate and amuse.
Yes.
You know, we're not going to come on with funny hats and red noses and baggy trousers.
We're not wearing them today.
But
Baggy
the thing is,
trousers.
we want to invite you in, and to do that in the traditional Viking way of the saga.
I mean, you may not be in a long house or in a long hall or mead hall. You may not be sitting around a hearth. But this is the kind of feel of folk tales and telling the stories from the sagas has, and that is the kind of feel we want on this channel.
One thing that was said to me at university, which I believed before I went, and still believe in today, and I was told by my professor, history doesn't belong to a bunch of grumpy old men in Oxford and Cambridge. It belongs to you.
Yes,
And
definitely
that's
you.
what we're
And
here.
to you as well, and to me.
We don't need degrees.
No, I don't have a degree.
I've got one, technically all two. But the point is, It
They
doesn't
can
matter.
give me one.
Which one do you want, history or archaeology?
Well, both, thank you.
Oh, right.
In about 20 years.
But the thing is, you could still appreciate, and one quote I use is by Suetonius: "A man who doesn't know from whence he came will remain forever a child."
That's very true, that. That's very true.
And this is what we're trying to do, is get you interested. Okay, you may not like the saga particularly, but it's things, I could do that. Well, go and do it. That's the thing. Research it more. Well, so many of our comments, they've obviously researched.
Well, definitely so, yes.
And that is
They're very
fantastic.
aware.
Yeah, and I love that. You feel as though you've done something positive.
Now, I'd like to know, what is your favourite saga? So please leave that in a comment. I love to read what your favourite saga is. And in many ways, what we're doing is just keeping up the tradition of telling these oral stories. Yeah. I mean, the only difference between us and 1,000 years ago is that, well, we live in a modern world.
Yeah.
If we go back 1,000 years, we will be both travelling around, being hired to tell these tales, because they would have hired. They would have said, here's a good storyteller, he's worth some silver coin.
Glean then.
Oh yes, so by telling these stories on these sagas, of which we do intend to tell a lot more in the future, if you understand, and you need to understand that making content takes time. It takes time to research a saga, especially if you're going to tell a whole saga in a series.
Well, we also have to contend with traffic, neighbours with their buzzsaws, motorbikes. But that's okay, that's part of everyday life. It annoys us, but it shouldn't, because we are bringing the sagas up to date. Alright, we're dressed as Vikings, but how far do we take it, you know?
Well, yes.
Are we going to have people raiding us? Are we going to have plagues?
Well, they can try, the raiders.
Yeah, well, either way, what it is...
They're not getting in, their name's not down.
We're setting the scene for you, and this is what it's all about. And we'd love to hear from you, not just about sagas, but folk tales as well. But we would like to know, we've just done Saga, which will be released whenever, about yours truly. And I'd be interested to hear your views on it. And in a way, it's bringing the tradition of saga telling up to date.
Yes.
So yeah.
Yeah, so if you enjoy this little brief chat about the sagas, I mean, we'll perhaps look at different subjects from the sagas we can talk about as well, because we do need to make more content on the sagas.
Well, there is one that I think the ladies would like to hear, and that's the Laxdale saga.
Yeah.
This was written by a Scottish slave woman.
Oh yes.
Who rose from slavedom to a position where she was writing about the history and ordering events. I didn't know that until I saw a programme on it on television. But one thing I will say, if we get it wrong, or if I don't know, I will tell you, and if I've got it wrong, then I will research it and come back with the correct answer.
Oh, one of the things that puts me off telling sagas is the pronunciation. You know, I don't speak the best of English, you know, even with my normal voice. So we are going to make mistakes, but that's the learning curve of being a storyteller. Is that in order to learn the story, you're going to make mistakes, and you correct those mistakes as you understand and learn it.
There are also variations, and I brought to mind of Thor fishing for Jormungand.
Yes.
There are two versions. The earliest one is where Thor catches Jormungand and kills her. The later one, he lets her go. Now, I don't believe the Ragnarök story. You have to look at the Revelations, and it's very similar. And also, isn't it convenient that the later saga he lets you go and gets killed by Jormungand? If you follow the early one, if he's killed it, you can't get killed by it.
Yeah, well, I hope you can tell both those versions. If you've not seen the original version of that, told by Turkey, then you know what to do.
Yeah.
Go and click on the card up there.
Up in the tree.
Yes, I'm going to be attempting to tell the story Illusions, where Thor and Loki go to Utgard to go and meet the giant Utgardi and end up being challenged.
Yeah.
And Thialfi, the farmer's lad. So I'm going to be telling that one. And I might look at the Orkneyinga saga as one I could probably tell.
Yeah.
So,
well, we just keep ploughing through the books and tell them as we see them.
Yeah, so that's all we can do. and we do hope you enjoy this video.
Yeah.
We're trying just to address the fact that we don't have too much content at the moment on Sagas, so do bear with us, and if you haven't unsubscribed from the channel because of that, then please subscribe back.
Yeah. Because we're going to fill up with sagas.
Oh, we're going to have hundreds of videos on Sagas in the future.
Saga louts.
We are going to be saga louts. Yeah, I've heard of that one before. Anyway, so it's goodbye from me.
And it's goodbye from him.
Oh yeah, we should do the old shake the old axe. Scary Neggle there.
Yeah.
I just hope that you're not too far off camera there.
Yeah, I do as well.